God damn. Uh, uh, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 episode. The worst part about episode 25 of season 2 of Fruits Basket is that it ended. But the good thing is the wait for the final season may be a bit of a lengthy one, but not totally insane, which it's coming out next year. I imagine spring or summer of next year. Oh my god, the wait for the final season is going to be killer, but you want to know one good thing? There's not too much of a wait for that Yuki character analysis video that I have said I was going to do for quite some time. This coming Thursday, Yuki character analysis in the same vein as the Toru analysis I did. Currently available for early access over on my Patreon, coming out this Thursday. Self-promotion, gotta self-promote it. I worked my ass off on that video, so get hyped for that one. But this episode, I was ready to come into this episode like halfway through the episode before the reveal that Kureno's curse was broken. I'm like, I'm confident here. I know his curse is broke. There's no way. And I was ready to have another one of my little random bursts of intelligence, as I like to assume, because sometimes I make these predictions and they turn out to be true seasons down the line, and then they tell me, and in this episode I'm like, well, I mean, I can't even be mad. Pretty much this episode, if I break it down to what it confirmed to me, Shigure loves Akito. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. I still don't know the true motivations on why certain things are happening, but based on the actions of this episode, it seems that Shigure really is jealous of Kureno and other people be able to be by Akito's side. It just seems like he's trying to push everyone away so he can swoop in, and I'm not sure if it's love or hate or what's going on there, but it's starting to make a little more sense, and I'm really hoping the final season is really going to go into his mentality, which I'm sure it will, because he's one of the last ones we really do need to dive into. Kureno's curse being broken and not knowing why it's broken, which then kind of goes into why Akito is so fearful of abandonment, because it's actually something literal being ripped away from her, which we'll get to that in a minute. So it's quite interesting, and while doesn't it like excuse the abuse and the neglect that Akito has done to all these other characters, it does put into perspective why her actions were happening in certain ways, especially if it's literally feeling like ripping away, as if there's distance in the eyes of the people that you love and cherish. And it's really starting to make sense, and I can honestly say for the first time, I've always said Akito seems like the loneliest character in this series. For the first time in 2 seasons, I felt truly bad for Akito in this episode, and I'm so excited for season 3 to really dive into her character, which leads me to the other point, Akito is a girl. I've always bounced around not knowing if Akito was male or female, and I wasn't sure if that was story related, or if it was just, because sometimes anime designs it's hard to tell, and it's not really an overly relevant, important topic, so I don't really care what the gender was. But now that I realize that Akito is female and pretending to be male, there's a lot of fear in this character. The fact that she's not comfortable portraying herself as female, maybe not strong enough, maybe there is some deep-rooted cultural history, family history there. The fact that Akito is terrified of anyone abandoning her, the fact that she's willing to keep her zodiacs caged in the case of Kyo, even if she doesn't like Kyo, as it would seem like she's willing to lock him up. Yuki saying that, I forgive you and I'm kind of doing my own thing. It's understandable why she freaked out so much last week. And it's like, things are clicking. Things are clicking so elegantly, and I love the idea of forgiveness in this show. It's not like you forgive characters and their bad actions are just kind of swept under the rug. Those bad actions are representations of what not to be in the present, and hopefully those characters improve in the future. And I'm very curious about how you can break the curse. It's good to know that it can be broken. The fact that we have Kureno, someone who very much is probably the most loyal character in this series. Even after having his curse broken and Field of View just wide awake, he stayed by Akito's side and realized that most likely the actions of someone who constantly insults you but actually really wants you by their side is because scared, fearfulness, loneliness, abandonment, most likely tying into something related with her parents, I'm sure, because parents in this series just absolutely suck, so we gotta probably have something with Akito's parents I'm not gonna be surprised with. It's quite interesting to have this just revelation, and we still don't know everything, but it feels like things are starting to click in my head, and I'm really starting to think of these past actions, and I'm like, oh, I need that final season. And 2021 can't come soon enough. I'm sure a lot of people are hyping up 2021 just because this year for them probably sucked for most people. But the anime for Fruits Basket final season. I don't know if it's going to be a 1 core or 2 core. I know people are saying there's enough for 2 core, but then there was the rumors when this first started out that it was going to be like 63 episodes. I'm going to imagine another 2 core, even though it feels like they could, from what I can see with the story, do it in a single core. It does feel like Fruits Basket always has more tricks up its sleeve, and I'm sure there's a lot to go through with Toru. You have Shigure, you have Kureno, Akito, and then you have the whole we still need Kyo. Like, there's still a lot to touch upon, and I don't know where they want to go. But it does feel like this just all sums down to loneliness, fear of abandonment, which ties into Toru, who is fearful of things abandoning her, like happened with her parents. It just feels like everything's clicking more and more, and the idea that it can be broken, and a scene where someone's just trying so desperately to say, I can forget about this girl. Arisa means nothing to me. I met her 2 times, she's literally nothing. But we know it's a lie, and I thought they were going to kind of end on that brutal cliffhanger, but to see him cry and be like, that's who I want, I fell in love. It's such a beautiful and tragic moment because you feel like, how can he be with her, especially considering, like, he's dedicated so much of his life, even though it was a lie, it was for Akito's sake, but even though it feels like Shigure's telling Kureno to abandon Akito, while it does feel like it's for his own gain, most likely so he can be by her side, it does feel like the right call, because if you keep the lie up, you're never going to let this character change, and she's going to be locked in this hellish mindscape. But it is interesting, because if one curse being broken, even if it was her favorite of the Zodiacs, caused her to lose her mind that much and feel like she was going to die, imagine if all of them broke at once, or even just back to back, like, that would maybe kill her. And that's something that's interesting to me, and I'm really excited to dive into that and just see, like, will Akito be able to survive if the curses are broken? Supposedly the god can't exist without the Zodiacs, but what does that actually mean? And honestly, I don't know. I think Fruits Basket Season 2 did have a lot to prove this season, but it almost felt like with each episode and each arc and each piece of development, it felt like it was trying to prove something and just created what I thought was already a perfect formula and doubled that formula, and I'm sure the final season is going to continue to do so. And I know the team has took liberties to rearrange things and make it flow in a natural way, and I think they're doing a great job. Even though I've never read the source material, you can tell this is something that's supposed to be worthy of the Fruits Basket name. And the production, the music, the directing, it was emotional. And the fact that he made me feel bad for Akito and start seeing those past actions, while I don't excuse them, you can see a path to redemption. What if all the curses were broken? What if Akito no longer had those bonds that were this like spiritual thing holding them together? What if she could build those bonds with a real genuine compassion? Maybe that's the direction they're trying to go with. But honestly, I wasn't expecting the reveal about her being a girl. Like, I didn't think that was going to be relevant. I thought it was just kind of like anime being anime. Sometimes female looks like male, sometimes male look like female, and that's just like, they're just kind of rolling with that. But to have it actually be something relevant means that there's some insecurities there. And I'm curious if we're going to have some girl bonding between Toru and Akito, whether good or bad. And this anime is going in my top 10. I'm going to be honest, I don't even need the final season to make that claim. This show is remarkable, and this is why I make so much Fruits Basket content and put so much effort into the Fruits Basket content, because it deserves every ounce of my mind that I can give it. And god damn am I excited for more, and it's good to know we don't have to wait 2 years or something, because I don't know what we did to deserve this adaptation, but I'm so thankful of it. I know people are going to ask me as well, like, hey, are you going to do any other big videos for Fruits Basket? That's for the final season. You're getting the Yuki for Season 2. For Season 3, I plan on doing a Kyo analysis as well as an Akito analysis. I might also do like a big overall video on Fruits Basket when it concludes, so about 2 or 3 videos for the final season, which is going to kill me because goddamn one of these videos kills me because I have to put so much effort into it. But still, definitely a lot more Fruits Basket content to come in 2021, and who knows, maybe I'll also throw in another video sometime towards the end of the year. I know my fiance is really excited to watch Fruits Basket, she's never watched it, so maybe I'll do something similar to what I did with my Yu-Gi-Oh video, which I did fairly recently over the past couple of months, where I'm rewatching that anime with her, and I was kind of like giving perspective from her side as well as my side of rewatching it, so maybe I'll be able to do another Fruits Basket video in a smaller vein, not as highly edited as that Yuki video, but time will tell for sure. But let me know your thoughts. I need to rewatch this episode like 20 times over. This is incredible. I love it. So many new developments, and the possibilities are endless. Thoughts down below. Like the video if you enjoyed, and hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. Until next time, everyone, take care, and goddamn have a good one.